Hello and welcome back to this day trading breakdown for Monday, 2nd of June 2025. In this video, we'll analyze the biggest pre-market movers, break down their catalysts, and see if they were tradable, and if so, how they could have been traded both during the pre-market and the regular session. If you're new here, I'm documenting my trading journey, focusing on catalyst-based day trading and swing trading, and I'm developing an edge around the news and catalysts that spark explosive stock moves. So if you want to develop your own edge, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. The first and only stock we're going to look at today is LYRA Therapeutics. You will understand why this is the only and most obvious stock to look at today in the pre-market session, given the market reaction and how much it was up in the pre-market session. So this stock had a news on the 2nd of June at 7 in the morning. And the news was that LYRA Therapeutics reports positive results from the ENLIGHTEN-2 phase 3 trial of LYRA 210, which probably is their therapy, achieving statistically significant results for primary and key secondary endpoints in the treatment of chronic rhinosinusitis. Right, so from the headline itself, I see phase 3, and I see statistically significant results for primary and key secondary endpoints. This is that's what's popping out for me from the headline. Now, looking at the key highlights here, I actually looked at the article before, so I know that the most important information is already here. We don't even need to look into the details, but anyways, let's look at this. So it says here that ENLIGHTEN-2 trial met primary endpoints with LYRA 210, demonstrate this is their therapy treating this CRS condition, demonstrating statistically significant improvement in the composite of the 3 cardinal symptoms of CRS at 24 weeks. So first of all, we're having the trial that's meeting the endpoint with statistical significance for 3 cardinal symptoms for that particular condition at 24 weeks. Statistical significance, for those who know statistics, is an important point because it just means that the results have met a threshold of high probability. Okay, moving to the second key point, ENLIGHTEN-2 trial also showed statistical significance improvement in key secondary endpoints in the full population of 3CS at 24 weeks again, and SNOT 22 score at 24 weeks. What I see here is, first of all, again, statistical significance on key secondary endpoints in full population, not just a small sample, full population, and again 24 weeks. I am presuming that the 24 weeks is also an important milestone to reach for these results, to see improvement over a certain period of time, so consistency of improvement. Okay, the third key point is, additionally, in pooled data from ENLIGHTEN-2 and ENLIGHTEN-1 trials in 64 CRS patients with nasal polyps, LYRA 210, the treatment, demonstrated a consistent positive trend over 24 weeks. Again, we're seeing the 24 weeks in multiple key efficacy endpoints. LYRA plans to review the totality of the data set from the ENLIGHTEN trials to evaluate next steps for pursuing an indication in non-polyp patients, as well as to continue development of this treatment in patients with nasal polyps. And then again, if you want to look at say this news in more details, but really what's going on here is very, very, very detailed and very technical, but the summary there is actually very good and gives like pretty much all you need to understand that this is a very bullish news. And so if I were to summarize this news and why it's such a bullish news, well, first of all, this is a biotech company that's developing a treatment for CRS, for this condition. it's presenting results from phase 3. So phase 3 usually is a very critical milestone, a very critical phase in the development, because it is the closest to FDA approval and commercialization. And so the results from phase 3 are usually looked at and watched very carefully. Now, the other reason I thought this was very bullish is the fact that it has achieved, the results are showing statistical significance for both primary and key secondary endpoints. A lot of the time, the phase 3 in many biotech companies, they barely hit their primary endpoint, or sometimes they can hit them, but they fail to actually show statistical significance across multiple measures. This is not the case here. This is actually showing statistical significance across many measures. And so I think this is the reason the stock just took off actually pre-market. So we're going to look at the chart now, and we're going to see how the stock behaved. So we're looking at the 1-minute chart of LYRA Therapeutics here, and as you can see, as soon as the news was out, which was around 7 o'clock, the stock actually started kind of going up a little bit on very low volume, but the volume came in at around 6 minutes past 7 here. Now, what you can see, well, the whole move was, I think something like it's 540%, which was an incredible rally of the stock. But the thing is, like, well, usually I'd be looking for in order to enter is a pullback. But you see, the news was so good, didn't have anything negative, that there wasn't much of a pullback. And so when do you decide to enter these kinds of stocks is when you don't see a pullback and you just continue, you see the stock going up and up and up. Sort of, there was a sideways action here, so this is also potentially another entry point, but the stock was already up, so from there until there, so 170% or 60%. I'm not sure how much confidence can you have on a stock to enter after it has already run 150%. I would say a lot of confidence. But anyways, if you're watching the stock and the stock start moving up, then if you don't have a pullback around here, that's when you're looking to enter, especially that around 7 past 7, the stock was actually trading above VWAP. And so that was, in my view, the best opportunity to enter the stock. And so say you enter here, and you want to capture about 100%, which is already very good. That's probably when you want to be taking out some of the profits. So I don't know, maybe 70% of your position, 80%, depends on how your risk appetite or how much you want to risk. But it is preferable when the stock goes again another 100%, even on a very bullish news, to take out some profit off the table, because you never know what could happen. And then whatever you leave, so if you're leaving 20% or 30 or even 50%, you can let it run and see where it can go. In this case, the stock actually from say $13 here, well, first of all, it started at kind of around $5, $5.50, and it run all the way up to $38. And so there was a lot of room actually to capture all this whole move. And so say if you would have taken half of your profits around $13 or $14, then you still had a very nice run here. There was absolutely no 140% more. There was no indication whatsoever that there was the stock was gonna start slowing down in terms of the move until 7:30. As you can see, there is this big red candle, and the stock start giving up the gains from the highs here all the way to $25. But even then, you can see that it didn't break down completely. Like, it still continued trading above VWAP, but at this point the action was not interesting because it was just, in my view anyways, kind of sideways. You need to be super fast if you want to kind of trade on a tighter range like this, but showing that the news was so strong that the stock just continued trading above VWAP and not kind of breaking down or anything like that. Even after the market opened, the stock actually behaved, I wouldn't say strongly, but again, just around the VWAP, which indicates that, you know, the news was legit and actually very good. So I hope you guys enjoyed this today's video. This was a short video, but you know, sometimes you don't need much actually to make money. Sometimes you just need the right conditions, the right criteria to come together and show up in your scan and just take action, which was the case for this incredible stock and this incredible move pre-market. So as always, please share, like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.